welcome back to Pop Flashback. I'm Rick Smalls, and Tina Boucher is, she's out on an assignment, some family thing, so I'm flying solo today. But hey, we're still going to rewind back. This time, it's 1976, the year the Steadicam first came out. I mean, you've seen it, right? Those super smooth shots in movies, but have you ever, thought about how it changed the whole game for filmmakers? So before the Steadicam, moving a camera smoothly, it was a total pain. You had those, dollies stood on tracks, right? Or big bulky cranes, or you just ended up with shaky handheld shots. And then Garrett Brown comes along, invents this crazy thing that lets you walk, run, even dance around with the camera, and the shot stays buttery smooth.
Amazing, right. So the first film to officially use the Steadicam was Bound for Glory. It's a biopic about Woody Guthrie. Can you imagine trying to capture the spirit of a wandering folk singer without being able to move freely with the camera? I mean, it just wouldn't work. The Steadicam let filmmakers actually follow Guthrie as he roamed,
Gave the audience that feeling of actually being on the journey with it. But here's where it gets interesting. So Bound for Glory might have been first, but there were two other movies. They came out the same year, Marathon Man and Rocky. They really showed Hollywood what the Steadicam could do. Think about those crazy chase scenes in Marathon Man, right? Weaving through the streets of New York, or Rocky's training montage, that leads up to that epic run up the Philadelphia Museum steps. I mean, those scenes, they were breathtaking. They were immersive, and they just wouldn't have been possible without the Steadicam. The Steadicam, it wasn't just a technical thing. It was like a whole new language for filmmakers to tell stories with. Suddenly, they could move the camera in ways they never even, dreamed of, creating shots that were more dynamic, more engaging, and way more emotionally powerful. But, okay, how does this thing even work? I mean, how do you attach a camera to someone and make it, float like that? It's all about balance,
It's kind of like a seesaw. You've got a vest that the operator wears, right?
To distribute the camera's weight, and then there's an arm with this system of springs and counterweights to absorb any bumps or shakes. And then there's a gimbal. It allows the camera to move freely while staying perfectly level. It sounds complicated, but when you see it in action, it's pure magic. It's like the camera's like an extension of the operator's body, and moving with grace and fluidity, capturing the action in a way that feels both intimate and epic at the same time. It's really something. Now, I know you're probably thinking of your own favorite Steadicam shots. I mean, I know I am. Who hasn't been blown away by that Copacabana scene in Goodfellas, right? But let's shift gears for a second, talk about Stanley Kubrick. This guy, he was a visionary, always pushing the limits of what film could do. And when he got his hands on the Steadicam for The Shining, well, let's just say he had some ideas. Kubrick, he wanted to get the camera really low to the ground, almost like a ghost's point of view, as it glided through the hallways of that creepy Overlook hotel. But the original Steadicam, it didn't allow for that. So what did they do? They flipped the camera upside down. They mounted it to the bottom of the arm instead of the top. Pretty clever, huh?
It was a simple solution, but it opened up a whole new world of possibilities, for filmmakers. And those creepy low-angle tracking shots in The Shining, they became some of the most iconic and unsettling images in cinematic history. I mean, they still give me chills.
Hangry.
Totally. And we're looking at their online shop today, and it's pretty wild. Got like everything you could think of, from t-shirts and sweatshirts to candles and stickers, and they've got all this stuff with this really fun food themed kind of spin on it.
Yeah,
it's interesting how they've taken what's a pretty negative emotion and spun it to be something
good.
Yeah, something relatable and fun.
And we're back with Pop Flashback. Before we took a break, we were talking about how the Steadicam changed how movies were made. Even inspired Stanley Kubrick to get all creative with those spooky shots in The Shining. But the Steadicam's journey didn't end there.
It went on to, conquer new challenges, like a galaxy far, far away. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Return of the Jedi, of course. I mean, imagine trying to film a speeder bike chase, right? Through a forest with those bikes, like zipping and weaving between trees. How do you capture like that sense of speed and movement without making the audience, feel sick? Well, the filmmakers behind Return of the Jedi had a pretty brilliant idea. They mounted the Steadicam on not one but two gyroscopes. It was like giving the camera superpowers or something. Allowed it to stay perfectly steady, even as it like swooped and dived through those redwood forests. The result, pure cinematic magic. The audience, they felt like they were like right there on those speeder bikes, experiencing the thrill of the chase firsthand. And that's what's so amazing about the Steadicam. It's not just about creating smooth shots. It's about immersing the viewer in the action, making them feel like they're part of the story. Now we talked a lot about the Steadicam's impact on Hollywood and all that, but its reach, it goes way beyond the big screen. Think about those live sporting events, right, where the camera seems to just glide effortlessly alongside the athletes, or those nature documentaries, where you're just swept through these breathtaking landscapes. The Steadicam, it's become like an essential tool for visual storytelling, whether it's capturing the energy of a football game or the serenity of a mountain vista. It's pretty incredible. But let's get back to those iconic movie moments for a second. I mean, who can forget that incredible scene in Goodfellas? You know the one I'm talking about, right? Where the camera takes us on this like winding journey through the Copacabana nightclub. It's like we're like right there with Henry Hill, experiencing all the glamour and excitement of that world. And then there's that breathtaking opening shot on the player, right? It's a single unbroken take that lasts for like over 8 minutes. The camera follows the main character through all the twists and turns of a Hollywood studio, and you're just like hooked, wondering where it's going to lead you next. These are just a few examples of how the Steadicam has helped filmmakers create, unforgettable cinematic experiences. But let's not forget the people behind the camera, the skilled operators who make those magical shots happen. They're the ones who have to like master this intricate system, who have to understand balance and movement, and who have to anticipate the action and keep the camera, steady no matter what's happening. It's a demanding craft, but it's also an art form. These operators, they're like dancers, moving with grace and precision. Their bodies become like extensions of the camera. They're the unsung heroes of filmmaking, really, and we owe them a huge debt of gratitude for bringing those incredible visions to life. But the story of the Steadicam, it's not over yet. It keeps evolving, adapting to new technologies and new creative challenges. And as long as there are stories to be told and visions to be shared, I have a feeling the Steadicam will be there, helping filmmakers push the boundaries of what's possible. So I got to ask you, what's your favorite Steadicam shot? Is it from a movie, a TV show, maybe even in a music video? Head to the comments and let me know. I'm really curious to see what you come up with. We've been talking about the Steadicam, right? And wow, what a ride it's been, from those early days, with Bound for Glory, to those speeder bikes zipping through the forest in Return of the Jedi. We've really seen how this invention, totally changed how movies move, But the Steadicam story, it's bigger than just just some cool camera tricks, right? It's about changing how we experience film, Like think about those old movies, the ones with the camera, it just kind of sat there, on a tripod. It felt like you were watching a play or something. But with the Steadicam, bam, you're suddenly right there in the action, moving alongside the characters, feeling their every step. It's wild. It's like the difference between looking at a painting and stepping inside of it. The Steadicam, it broke down that wall between us, the audience, and the story. Made us feel more connected to what we were seeing. And that's why its legacy is so huge. It goes way beyond just those iconic shots we all love. It's about a shift in filmmaking, a whole new way of thinking about how to use the camera to pull us into the story, to make us feel like we're part of that world on the screen. It's not just about showing you what's happening. It's about making you feel it. A shot that makes you feel like you're like right there in the moment. remember the Steadicam. Remember the innovation, the artistry, the dedication that goes into making those moments happen. And that, my friends, is a wrap for our Steadicam flashback. Thanks for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Smalls out.